So I recently got this CZ75 Compact and I have absolutely fallen in love with it. It shoots incredibly well. You guys have probably seen a few videos of me shooting this pistol for the channel, and I absolutely adore this thing. The trigger pull is great, and size is pretty good for carry purposes as well. It's smaller than the full-size CZ75, as you can imagine. So what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble this pistol and give it a cleaning because I went to the range tonight. We're going to first remove the magazine, check and ensure that the chamber is empty, and it is. So let's talk about disassembling the CZ75 family of pistols, and this applies to both CZ pistols and the Turkish clones and all of the CZ clones. What you're supposed to do is bring the slide back a little bit until both of these lines match up. What I have found, though, is CZ actually includes a way for you to for the pistol to align itself for you. If you bring the slide back a little and engage the safety, it actually lines up right about where it should be, and you can drive the pin out. So some people use a tool. I'm just going to use the magazine because I'm lazy. Pop the pin in, and now you can pop the slide release out, and the slide should come straight off the pistol. A lot of people I know who have owned CZs or shot them or handled them for a long time don't actually know about that. So our next step is going to be just removing the recoil spring and guide rod and our barrel. Now, this guide rod is not the factory guide rod. This is an aftermarket metal guide rod. This is all steel because the polymer guide rod for the CZ75 Compact is just atrocious, and I am not about to trust my life to a guide rod that is starting to bend like crazy. This thing just tries to bend out of the gun and never caused me any problems, but I mean, the thing is just ridiculous. If you've ever seen a CZ75 Compact polymer guide rod, you know. So what I'm going to do next is, now, something I want to add real quick. So people will say all the time that, oh, I clean my gun every 5,000 rounds or something like that. I clean my guns every range trip. I just think it's the responsible thing to do, and it has two main benefits. One, my gun just tends to run a little better. I never have malfunctions. And number two, it makes cleaning a lot easier because, as you can see, I've just shot this thing, and it is not super dirty, but it's not exactly super clean either. But because I'm cleaning it off right after I got home from shooting, the carbon that's in this pistol is still fairly loose, and so it's going to be fairly easy for me to get rid of it as well. So what I do, different people do different things, this is just me doing what I do, is I will take a rag like an old t-shirt, this is an old t-shirt, and I'll just wipe down the inside of the pistol. And look at that soot that is coming off of this thing. Maybe 50-ish rounds shot through this gun today, and which is just a box. I mean, it's really nothing in the grand scheme of things. But this pistol is already filthy. And I'll tell you this much, when I first got this pistol, this thing was completely just caked with grime and carbon on the inside. The previous owner had clearly never taken it apart to clean it in its life. So definitely glad that I was able to go in and fix this poor thing and give it a good cleaning and get it back into proper order. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead with the frame, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now, with the CZ75 design, because the slide runs inside of the frame, it's honestly a little bit trickier to get into the frame rails compared to a traditional pistol where the slide overlaps the frame. Here it's the opposite. The frame envelops the slide. And it's just a little bit trickier to get into all of the nooks and crannies here, but you can certainly do it. I mean, I've done it with CZ pattern pistols many times before. Go in and just give it a general wipe down, get a lot of, at least the majority of the crud and the carbon buildup out of there. And I say carbon buildup, it's not really buildup, it's just residue that's in there. Because if this was real hard carbon buildup, I wouldn't be able to just wipe it off easily with a t-shirt like this. So I'm going to do the same thing with the barrel. And I always make sure to wipe down the feed ramp in particular. A lot of the feed ramps, especially that you'll see these days, they are nicely polished, so it's fairly easy to do. But there are some pistols that are a little bit trickier to do, but I always want to make sure that I clean the feed ramp off and just the barrel in general. So, also I'm going to do the same thing with the slide stop. The slide stops usually don't get that dirty, but, well, actually this time is an exception. Look at that. So, now the pistol has been cleaned as far as I'm concerned, for the most part. Still have to worry about the barrel. So what I do with the barrel, and I hope you can see down there, the barrel is not actually all that dirty right now. But what I do is I take a caliber appropriate brush, in this case this is a 9mm brush, and I just shove it through there, maybe once or twice. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera right now, but it is fairly glistening and shiny in there. So that's good. If there's any more buildup in there, like any loose powder specks or anything like that, or carbon, I will take a fabric brush and just go in there, maybe with some lubricant to get that out. But I didn't really need to do that this time. I was just doing it for demonstration purposes. And now the pistol is clean as far as I'm concerned. Different people want to go in and go through every single speck of everything in the pistol, and I do that from time to time as well. But for pure functional reasons, this pistol is perfectly fine. So what we're going to do now is go to the lubrication process. And this is where things differ from my last video, or some other videos you may see of my cleaning videos, where I want to put the slide, I want to reassemble the slide first before I start lubrication. With the CZ75 I can't do that, because I can't really get to the locking lugs with the barrel and the slide. So what I do is I make sure the barrel's out separate, and then I will take my favorite lubricant, which is 5W30 motor oil. Been using it for 4 years, never had a problem. If you buy into all of the gun lubricant, gun oil nonsense, I think that you are a little naive, but that's just me. And I'll just put a little drop here on the locking lug, some on the barrel top as well. And then I just take my rag and wipe the barrel down. I don't need it to be soaking in oil, but I want it to have a layer to it. Now that we have a glistening barrel, I will take the barrel, put it in the slide, I'll also take the guide rod. I actually forgot to do this earlier, my apologies. And I'll just wipe the guide rod down. This guide rod's perfectly fine, but I will take a little bit of lubricant and lightly oil the guide rod as well. Again, I don't need it to be dripping with oil, I just need it to have a fine layer on it. Now we put it back into the pistol, back into the slide anyway, and reinsert it right about to that point. So it should look like this. So the next step is I'm going to lubricate this pistol backwards, because on other pistols I lubricate the front rails. In this pistol's case, I lubricate the slide first because the slide goes into the frame. It's kind of backwards. So what I do is I take my bottle of oil and I drizzle a little around here or so. I can do it at the back, but I actually prefer to do it kind of in the middle. And do it like that. Maybe a little bit here actually as well. And then I just reassemble the pistol, put the slide back onto the frame, and what happens is the oil that I put on these reverse rails, it will go throughout the frame and it will lubricate the entire pistol. After a few runs and racking of the slide, it should be just fine. So what I'm going to do next is bring the slide back a little bit. I'm going to engage the safety, which will put the pistol back into the disassembly reassembly position. Take the slide stop, insert it in, pop it in place, let the safety off, and now the pistol is reassembled and well lubricated at this point. Now there will be some excess oil, on the outside. That usually happens with every pistol, but I've noticed that with the CZ designs, they really tend to have some excess oil for me, which is not the worst thing in the world. At least they do retain oil very well because of the enclosed system with the reverse slide and the weird internal frame rail thing that they have going on. But that's the video, guys. We now have a... Oh, listen to that. That just sounds so good. So we now have a reassembled CZ75 Compact. And yeah, that's the video. I hope you enjoy it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.